Okay, everybody, here we go. This really is exhausting. Days like today, whipsaw market all over the freaking place, watching the debt market action, listening to the freak show. We're going to talk about all that. So this is my post-market wrap up on this Friday, September 29th, 2023. All right, let's start off with this. So, if you were to turn on Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, they're trying to fist feed you, elbow deep, double fist feed you. This fantastic news that we just got on inflation. Well, let's boil this down to what it really is. Okay, the Fed's favorite inflation indicator, personal consumption expenditures. Oh yeah, it did come in not too great, but not as bad as expected. Still higher now. What they're trying to do again is trick you. And the big trick is, well, if you strip out food and energy, oh, we're really looking good. But what they won't tell you is just since July, all right, and this is again no surprise to you or me, energy prices just since July, people, are up 6.1%. Make it up. Now, the other thing that they're trying to tell you that again is getting twisted around is people are out there and they're spending cash. They have no choice. Most of this, and again, if you dig a little deeper into any of this, it's just always hidden in plain sight. People have no choice but to spend more as inflation continues to rise, with energy and food outpacing it all. For energy and food inflation outpacing all of it. I mean, imagine my shock and yours. Can I see your shock face? Really? Oh, who thought of that? Who could have possibly imagined that would happen? You and me. You and me. We said that food and energy inflation would continue to outpace everything. And if you think we're done, oh boy, you have no idea. But I don't know about you. It gets to me when you got the freak show, and I'm talking about Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, Reuters. Pick one of them. It's all the same story. Trying to tell you how great things are. They're dictating your life to you. Oh yes, you can't tell. You see, inflation is so much better that it continues to go higher, but you see, you're not supposed to know that, and everything is fantastic, and people are actually earning more money. But if you weigh what people are earning against the actual rate of inflation, I mean, they're just getting slaughtered. It's a slaughter on an imaginable scale here, people. It's really the truth. So that was what happened, and it's interesting how it was playing out. If you remember this morning, stock futures higher across the board. Oh, yes, it was being played up. CNBC, especially, Bloomberg, all of them. Oh, yes, the stocks are higher. They're loving this great economic news because inflation could have been worse. We finished the day in the negative after all that. I mean, the Dow negative, S&P 500, the NASDAQ put on a slight gain. But do you realize that this has been the worst quarter since 2022 for the NASDAQ, negative for the month, S&P 500 negative for the month. But you see, you're not supposed to know that either. They are trying desperately to keep the illusion of the market real. Okay, it ain't real anymore. I'm telling you the truth. You can't make this stuff up. You really, look, and again, on these things, like, for example, I'm telling you, or I'm relaying information to you that energy just since July is up 6.1% with no end in sight. None, zero. And I think you're all well aware of that. So you can expect energy prices and food. I mean, they're inextricably linked. Okay. It costs energy or energy to ship food and goods and whatever all over the freaking place. So you can only imagine where this is going to go. It's only going to get worse from here, honestly. Let's talk about this real quick. So Moody's, the rating agency, which has absolutely no credibility. Let's just establish that first. They knew the subprime mortgage, the meltdown. They knew what was going on, but they didn't tell anybody. You know what I mean? They were keeping the bonds rated AAA so that the big institutions could get out first. That's what they did. Oh, as a matter of fact, it's not just Moody's. If you recall during the meltdown, the big meltdown last time, remember The Big Short, the movie The Big Short? These rating agencies, they were keeping their AAA rating on U.S. debt that they knew was bad. Okay, mortgage-backed securities, they knew was bad. However, they did that again so the big players could dump it first. Thank you, Christine, and I appreciate it. My mortgage with BOA. Well, your mortgage will be sold to another party, and you will be responsible for it if that's the question you're going with here. But please save the questions till later. I appreciate that, though. Anyway, so Moody's here. Okay, again, zero credibility, but they're warning of systemic risk now. Obviously, this entire thing is, it couldn't be any worse in my view. Inflating debt, it's not going to stop. Inflationary pressures continuing to get more crazy, more out of hand here. But what Moody's is talking about more specifically is systemic risk in the banks. The banks are in trouble. No surprise to you. No surprise to me. You and I have covered this. Honestly, we can be proud of this, and it's really the truth that we call this out before anybody else, and it's not done. And I sincerely believe we're going to see a major bank fail, at least one. If I had to pick one, I already told you what I think it is. Bank of America looks terrible. This stock has gotten, just think about what I'm going to tell you. This stock has got cut in half. Don't take my word for this. In just under 2 years. In under 2 years, this Wall Street super bank, its value has got cut in half. And I don't see a bottom as of yet. I think it's going much, much lower here. And again, we have so many other things that are unfolding, and I'm going to bring it up again because we're going to talk more about this soon. The commercial real estate nightmare that's going to be unfolding. And you and I, well, of course, we're going to get paid for it. Right, Magic Mika, King Kong? All my friends are here today. Lava, she's here, I'm sure of it. Lord Humongous, you got to be here too. Alan Greenspan's here. People, I tell you, man. So anyway, with going back to the market real quick. So as I said, all the gains are gone for the Dow and the S&P. And I just, I don't know if I love it or hate it. I can't make up my mind. You listen to these freaks say, oh, yes, stocks are higher because of the great economic news. Really? Then what's the excuse for how come the market finished negative? Why? Well, this has been the worst quarter for the NASDAQ since 2022. Losses for the NASDAQ, losses for the S&P 500 over the last month. Come on now, people. Anyway, let's talk about a few other lovely things here that I wanted you to know about. So the deficit. Let's talk about the deficit here. Something that you and I understand is going to continue to balloon. More so forward, and that's along with the whole thing. It's just the nature of the beast here. August trade deficit. Are you ready for this number? Are you ready for this number? 84.3 billion. Okay. Who's making up that difference? It's an incredible thing, man. I'm telling you. It's I think we can all guess what's going on here. How does it feel to know really that all of this it's rigged, it's managed? You got the Federal Reserve, central banks controlling the flow of information, allowing you to know only what they want you to know, nothing more. Again, you cannot know what's going on with the banks. You can't know. You cannot know that cash is being pulled out of these institutions at a record pace. Can't know about that because they're afraid if more people find out, everyone's going to start pulling their cash out of these institutions. And trust me on this one, it's going to happen. It's going to be pandemonium. This is why I'm saying you got to be first here. First, smarter or cheat. We don't cheat, you and me, ever. You understand? I think you do. So you're going to we're smarter, so we're going to be first. You understand? Get your cash out. Only keep what you need in these institutions. I don't care what you do with it. Why do you feel the urge? I know people, the money isn't even there anyway. You do realize that. Right? I know you all do. But it's not there. Okay, you run to the bank with your piles of cash and you're touching it, playing with it, rubbing it all over yourself. You know what I mean? And then you hand it over to the freaks across, the lovely tellers over there. And then it just goes poof. It's not there anymore. It just vanishes. Yes, that's exactly what happens. It's not there. Make this stuff up. Bobster, thank you. Wisco, yes, I am going to try to make it to FL2K. I'm unfortunately not with one of my race cars, but I'm going to try to make it there. Anyway, as I said, please hold the questions for the end. All right. Anyway, that's where we're at here, people. So I just, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about the current situation? Are you gonna change anything? Are you gonna stop betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank? Are you going to stop thinking about the fact that this entire thing around us is coming down? Don't take my word for it. Now listen to Moody's, which has no credibility at all, but they're telling you. You see, they gotta let the truth out, little bits of it here and there. So when this whole thing comes down, and again, Moody's talking about systemic risk here, mostly with regard to banks, they can say, we warned you. We did. So they're covering their rear ends. They know people are going to be at them with pitchforks, and that's really the truth. But anyway, whatever. So just do with this information what you think you should. But I think it's pretty obvious. You and I, we've been together a long, long, long time. Some of you, Lord Humongous, dude, how long have you been with me? This guy has been with me for a very long time, many years. I can't even tell you. Anyway, so with that said, people, what we're going to do now here, first of all, I want to thank you. We got 485 thumbs up, and it's a good number. I'd like to see us get 800. 800 is usually a good number, honestly. So let's do a little QA here before we call it for the week, and we leave off with our favorite three things, and I'm gonna, what they are. All right. So yeah, let's talk a little bit yes, risk. You want to talk more about risk in this market? Okay, we'll talk more about risk in this market. First of all, we have the best indicator, I think, on the face of this planet. And I am not lying. And again, I'm not trying to make money off of this. It's free. Okay. So I don't have an agenda here. You understand? I post it on my website for everyone to look at for nothing. And I do it because I think it's important. People need access to information. Don't you agree? I think you would agree. And understanding risk. Look what happened this morning. I mean, we had what was clearly some kind of an entity, and we all know who it was, trying to, push the bond yields down by buying more debt. Didn't work. It didn't work. We started to sell off again. That caused the 10-year yield to rise. The dollar strength on a relative strength basis did come down a little bit today. MMRI, boom, back over 300, and the market falls. I mean, it works. We're at 302, right? Yeah. Earlier today, I mean, I have to admit something. When I saw the MMRI drop below 300, I was a little surprised. I really was a little bit surprised there, just for a moment or two. And then I just started laughing. I'm like, this is what we've been talking about here. Anyway, so risk in this market, we can measure it. We can see it. In my opinion, risk in this, and according to the MMRI, the way it's set up, risk in this market is extreme. It's not just Greg telling you all this. You got some pretty big voices out here explaining the current situation here. A lot of you don't give any, and I can understand this, these multi-billionaire hedge fund managers coming out telling you the same kind of story. And again, these guys have to do the same. They have to play the same game too, meaning they got to float out little pieces of truth once in a while, because a lot of these guys are managing billions of dollars, billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of their clients' money, not just their own. So they have to throw these little tidbits out to say, you know what? Look, I told you I was on CNBC, is on Bloomberg, whatever the freak it was. So they do that. But in my view, it's all true. You got, some big players shorting this market, hedge funds betting against this market, and betting against the debt market in a big way. Leverage bets, huge. And again, we had the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, warning that it's going to be the hedge funds' fault while we can see instability in the market. Oh, it's not the central banks who run the BIS. You do know that, right? The BIS is owned by member central banks. So, they got to, of course, make sure they keep the central banks looking squeaky clean, but you can't know that either. Yeah, exactly, Danny K. You nailed it. It's not me. It's just total unbelievable nonsense on an freaking believable. And they floated out Janet Yellen today. Did you see it? If the government shut down, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Earlier today, I put out a little question. Okay, I don't know if you saw it. I sent it out to those of you that subscribe to this blog here. I was like, how trustworthy do you think Janet Yellen actually is? And I put, oh, she's very trustworthy. And the other one is she may actually be the Antichrist. I like 96% of you. There's 4% that think she's the best thing that's ever walked on the face of the earth. Did you see that, Lord Humongous? You saw it? I mean, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's too much. I can't even stand it. I can't look at it. I can't listen to it. Even when I do this, it hurts me to do this. I don't want to, but I have no choice. I don't. All right. 715. Come on. I only need what? 85 more to hit my 800. I love that 800 number. It's a good number, for these thumbs up people. I think we can get. She's a thing. Yes, it's a pretty epic kind of a situation. Anyway, people, that's pretty much where we stand. I don't know what else to say. Other than what we pretty much look. I love being here with all of you. It's the truth. We come out, we talk about this, we discuss these things. And I think, we need a little bit of comedy once in a while, because without it, I think we'd all lose me. I told you already. I really sometimes feel like I'm going to end up in a straitjacket somewhere, committed. And I hope some of you will come visit me, I don't know. I hope I don't get there, but it's all of you that help keep me somewhat sane. But I think sane is definitely overrated. Wouldn't you say, people? I think so. And yes, we are absolutely united. Tanya N. Awesome. That is super. Yes, we hit 800. You guys and girls are amazing. Lava, you see that? People, you know what time it is? It's time for you and I look forward to this every freaking week, what I'm about to do. Are you ready? Because it's just so important to me. And I think if the world could embrace this, we'd all be better off, and we can get rid of these things. That's all they are. They're not even freaking human that run this entire freak show. Are you ready? Bring it in. No one's looking. Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable. People, this guy here loves you a lot from the heart. I mean this. Yes, Jerome. I am a freak. Big time. I will see all of you Sunday for my markets. A look ahead. I hope to see you there, although it's not live. Well, I hope you join me. Well, no, you wouldn't be joining me either. I hope you check it out. And so I'm going to take the rest of this day off, and tomorrow it's going to be beautiful. I hope all of you have a great weekend, and let's put this stuff aside, just so we can start next week off with a clear head. Thank you, Peter. I respect all of you too. Like, you can't believe you all are amazing. I mean, beyond amazing. This is a family. You know that. I really feel that way. It's a worldwide thing. This isn't just a little thing. It's getting kind of big. And I'm officially an influencer now that I have over 250,000 subscribers. Whatever that means. I don't want to influence anyone. I just want to, all of us here to make a positive difference in this world. And I don't think that's too much ask, right? Love you a lot. See you Sunday, okay? Take care.